Is the Chinese Indians have cultures that are quite visual? How come black people, how come black individuals show their cultures, or do we not have one?
My question was that I watched like an Indian program the other day, and they had like these saris, everything was like nice, but I don't really see much about black culture on the roads. Like, look to your left or look to your right, you wouldn't really see that person's African for their culture.
Okay. Did you hear that? Just kind of showing their culture. Do we have a culture to embrace? And how does one show that they're into their culture?
What if you're mixed though? Like, are you supposed to wear like...
Let them do their thing, innit? She asked a specific question. She didn't say, what's wrong with you? I think, let me highlight. Okay, let me highlight a question. Let me highlight a question then. What I think she's really asking is, why don't black people do that? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know why? I think because the answer is in your question really. Look, you said Chinese and Indians, yeah? Those are countries, China and India. But then the last thing you said was black. There's no country called black. Do you understand? So now they're not, I know you're generally speaking, but I'm saying the fact that you felt to write that, which is what anyone else would write as well, I'm not penalizing you, I'm just saying, I said I'm not penalizing you, I'm just saying that the fact that we would write black shows that we don't place ourselves anywhere anyway. So then that's why we don't, a lot of people don't run with their culture. I mean, if, for instance, someone like majority of people in here, they might be Caribbean or something like that, do you know what I mean? And people might not, those people might not feel the connection to, you know, African issue in terms of embracing it, do you understand? Yeah, whereas if I was from Kenya, you know, even though, you know, everyone, all black people went through the same thing, if I was from Kenya, I would still know what my people wear, do you know what I'm trying to say? Do you know what I mean? Like that. So it's kind of like, I feel like it's the disconnection that we've had over the years, I think. What do you say?
Does that mean like Caribbean doesn't mean have a culture?
No, I don't think so. No, of course Caribbean, of course you have a culture. But that's like, do you know what it is? It's like this. That's a good question. No, Caribbean people, of course we have cultures, you understand? Because, you know, if I can say plantain and plantain right now, everyone will be like, no, shut up! You know what I'm trying to say? So it is, we created our culture, but it's the same with youths in England. 10 years from now, no one's going to be saying, man's Jamaican, man's saying, man's English. I'm from South London. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because there will be a culture created right here, do you understand? I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, because as the years go by, there's going to be a culture created for the youth that are here now. So people here, because we've already got our own culture here, youth. We've got our own slang, we've got our own ways of dressing, our talk, we've got our own music. So there's a youth culture here in England, do you know what I'm trying to say? So there is a culture back there, but what she's asking is, you know, the same way you could say China man would do this, do you know what I'm saying? Indian man would do that. I mean, I couldn't just call everyone African in here without someone throwing a bottle at me or a piece of weed saying, no, I'm Jamaican. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So therefore, it just shows the kind of disconnection that we made. Alright, cool.
Yeah, greetings. In the name of His Imperial Majesty. And also our wonderful Prophet Marcus Garvey. Yes? Now I could see that we as a people here, I'm listening to the reasoning so far. And there's a lot of things that we do not understand. Because why we do not have a culture is because we are separating. The brother said it before, we are destroyed. We all have the same experience. And we are suffering from something that we call slave traumatic syndrome. We all suffering from it. Meaning that we forget where we're coming from. We forget our history. We forget our roots. And without your history, people, my people, you could never determine where you're coming from. Because history keeps the records of yesterday. You see? So the reason we doesn't have a real culture that we can claim that is ours is because we do not respect our tradition. Today we have onto all kind of people's things. Yes, we wouldn't have a future in this country, my brother, as a black people. We would not. Because if you look closely, everything that we introduce to this world, they capture it. They are the one who benefit from it. They are the one who make profits out of it. We are just the producers. We don't get no real benefits. You see? So culture is something that we as a people create. Yes? You represent your culture. You see, and culture is not something that is static, meaning it just stays one way all the time. Yes, culture move on because as new generation comes on, there is new thinking, new minds, you know, new ways of seeing how life should go on. You see? So we need to find ourselves as a people, African people. We need to understand our history. How many of you all in here understand your history? How many of you in here have a real understanding of your history as an African prince and princess? Yes? No, we are not Jamaican, brother. That is a division. We are not Jamaican. We are not Trinidadians. We are not Grenadians. We are Africans. Yes? That is what we are. That is who we are. And that is what it does not want us to be. You see, because when we decide to call ourselves Africans and Caribbean and Jamaican, that is where we separate ourselves. We are destroying ourselves that way. You see, unless we find one identity, which is our African identity. Remember, we all have the same experience. And that experience is what we refer to as called the Great Ma'afa, which is the enslavement that we've been through. This is something that we must not and would not ever forget, because why? This issue of slavery, princes and princesses I'm speaking to you now, has never been addressed. So this is why we are still traumatized. We haven't been healed. There was no counseling for us. Yes? So we was just left to fend for ourselves after we've been kept down, been down pressed for 500 years. And the man just come up one day and say, you're free, man and woman. Just go about your business. You see? Look at the so-called Jews. They say Hitler terminated X amount of them. They was given reparation. Yes, they was given land to develop and rebuild again. Where is our reparation? Where is our land to develop and build ourselves as a nation again? Yes, to heal ourselves from that trauma. Yes, brothers and sisters? So we have a lot to be looking at, and we have a lot to be thinking of, because, you know, I'm looking at the item as the younger generation now, and your minds is really not in the right direction. I'm being honest. Yes? You need to connect yourself with who you really are. Africans. Yes? Not British. You're a citizen of England. You're not a British. You're not English. It's a difference being a citizen of a place and being, you know, part of the indigenous people of that place. Those the white people in South Africa Africans? Yes. No, they're not. They're citizens of Africa. They call themselves so. Understand? They're not Africans. Yes? So it's a very good question that, who is the question? Princess? Yes, it's a very important question. Yes? And we can go on much more on the question, yes? Because it's a very important question. Give thanks to them. Thank you.